Rebellions are built on hope.
And welcome to another episode of Radio Rebellion Star Wars podcast. I'm your host, Alberto Calderon, and back with us from all the way from Pereira is Naughty. Actually, it's Oti. Oti, how are you doing this week or today?
I'm doing good. I mean, I was in Florida, so it was technically like a wasteland. Like,
yes, I'm not gonna defend this place I called home for the past, 14 years. There's no defending this place.
It's fine.
It's fine. That's a perfect way to say we're alive. We're fine in Florida. All right, Oti, you weren't here last week. When we get to the Ahsoka talk, I want to hear your thoughts quick from last week's episode. I don't know. We haven't spoken in 2 weeks. So I don't know how everything is, but we'll find out. How's Roberto doing?
Hey, Roberto, how are you doing?
All right. Thanks, Roberto. You're in the chat. Hit like, comment down below, subscribe. If it's the first time that you guys are watching us, thanks for being here. As always, let us know how you're liking the show. And if you're listening to this later on the audio podcast, make sure to give us a rating and review. And our friend Mo is here. How you doing, Mo? And Alan, everyone just here at the same time. What does my chat say? There's only one person in the channel. It's like 3 people.
I don't get it. Whatever.
They just came in, made their comment, just left, which is fine. I will take the views. Come back like 20 times. That's fine.
Alan is for sure here.
Yeah, Alan's great. Alan just put his Halloween decorations. Roberto's doing art for Rogue One. Mo is loving the art that Roberto's doing. So it's like everyone's here that should be here.
Good. I was sitting on my sofa.
Yeah, I woke up like at 6 this morning. I'm gonna fall over soon, so you might need to carry the show.
I woke up like at 11, and I haven't done that in a while. I was like, oh yeah,
So it's nice. I think I made it to 9 a few weeks ago, and I was like, yes, ready to take on the day. All right. Oti, I've been reading, or listening, I should say, to the Silmarillion, which I've only tried reading it once. I never finished.
You're listening to the Andy Serkis version?
The Andy Serkis version.
It's cool.
It's like 20 hours to start. It's 19 hours and a half almost. So this is a very long story. Plus, Andy takes his time reading. But have you read it? You know,
I have never read the Silmarillion. I want the illustrated edition that came out last year, I think. Right. I still haven't gotten. So just for there's at the beginning, there's like a 1 hour that's Andy Serkis as J.R.R. Tolkien reading this letter that he wrote to a collaborator, a friend of his, describing the whole history, the 3 ages, everything, the Silmarillion, the Valar, the Silmarils, the Rings of Power, Lord of the Rings, everything. That's enough. That's worth the price of admission, basically. So I've been taking a break from Star Wars books. I'm going to start reading The Eye of Darkness in 1 or 2 weeks. Get ready to that. High Republic. Ahsoka does put one in that Tolkien mood. So.
Oh, yes. We will discuss that. All right. So I think we can go ahead and start. So if you guys are ready, I'm not ready. Let's talk Star Wars. And we'll do it. It's Star Wars on TV. There we go. This one. Star Wars on TV.
Ahsoka
Tano. This is the last time. Oti, last time we'll be hearing, at least till season 2 comes out, your Ahsoka Tano.
I was gonna do this thing. I actually practiced it this morning, where I was gonna stand up, move my mic, and sing with my guitar the Ahsoka song, but I didn't do that. I didn't help to do it. So
that's fine. Just save it. We'll save it for some behind the scenes one day. We'll just release them.
Okay.
So Oti, before we start, like I mentioned, like another Star Wars TV show came to an end. Another controversial finale came and went. But before we get to that, since you weren't here last week, I haven't got a chance to listen to your episode that you did on your podcast. What are your just general thoughts on last week's episode? My biggest take was that it didn't feel like a lead into the finale, and that was what got me kind of a little bit bothered with last week's episode. But what are your general thoughts on it?
I actually listened to last week's episode.
Thank you.
Because when my flight started to get delayed, I started running out of podcasts. I was like, yeah, let's listen to what Alberto said. I took some issues with some things you said, but I don't remember right now. Oh, I remember you contradicted yourself at one point. You said like you thought they were leaving too much to set up at the finale, and then you were like, "I'm afraid there's nothing to do in the finale." I'm like, "What the hell, man?"
That happens. I don't know what I say half the time.
Yeah. Last week's episode. Oh, Dreams and Madness. I love the title of the episode. I thought it was good episode. Like it was like in Far Far Away we set up all the toys, where they are, how they work, and then in the next one we got to play with them. And I love seeing Baylan fight Ahsoka. That was a meaningless fight, but a cool one. I loved his parting message to Shin.
Yeah.
It's basically why the Sith constantly fail, because they're desperate over victory. And I actually did like him being like, "Hey, I know your heart isn't in what I want to do, so just go out there and do your thing. Like, it's been fun. See ya." I liked it. I didn't like it as much as I liked episode 6, but I still had fun with it.
Too difficult to get to that point.
That episode is just unreal. Like,
yeah.
I still think about it. I was like, how?
Yeah, episode 6 was just something else. One thing that I said last week, I'll probably say a few times this week, I needed like one more episode, like in between. I think we needed something, a better lead into the finale, and then probably all the complaints that I'm gonna have today wouldn't be there.
Last week I got upset when you said that you wish this was a longer show. I was like, I mean, if Filoni wants it to be 8 episodes, it's not like they're telling him. I think they balance the budget according to what they want to do, whatever. I kind of agree. Or maybe not another episode, but maybe less. I think it would have been funner if you left Ray Stevenson's character, Baylan and Shin's whole thing a little bit more of a mystery. Maybe have you feel like it's not really significant until they get to Peridea and suddenly, okay, wait, there's something bigger at play. So that way you don't feel like we missed out on something. It's just like, no, it's just a tease for next season, which basically was what it was. So
yeah, I mean that's one of my issues, and I was thinking about, should I just rant through all my stuff now or just leave it as we go through? I think
do you want to pick up with that, because I think that's like the biggest thing. The whole Baylan thing is like the thing that bugs me the most, but at the same time it's like the one thing that it's not really Filoni's fault. Because sorry, at least me, I was getting anxious about it because I knew the real world thing about it. Like, I know he's not coming back, so I wanted some resolution, and I didn't get it. But then I see like, okay, the Filoni was probably thinking, hey, let's leave this for a season 2, or maybe the movie is a Peridea thing. We'll get to that, I guess. But like, it's the one thing that I'm really like, that's not really on him. Like,
that's something I won't criticize. I know people, this is the last time we'll see Ray Stevenson with this character, and people that didn't like how it ended. Again, Filoni has no control over it. The season was already written and shot and everything when unfortunately passed away. So there's nothing you can do about it.
It's kind of like the whole Carrie Fisher thing. Like, Force Awakens was Han's movie. Like Jedi was Luke's movie. Rise of Skywalker, we could have thought she is like kind of a big movie, but it's like, if only she had been like Force Awakens her movie or something like.
Not really. We'll see season 2 and the Filoni movie, how they treat this character, what they decide to do. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens. But I agree with you, because since episode 1, we've all been, man, what's Baylan's plan? There's secret behind it between Baylan and Shin. That's what's driving a lot of this story for some people, including myself. That was where I was more intrigued. And then when the finale comes, I'm looking at my watch, okay, there's like 15 minutes left, and Baylan hasn't shown up. What the hell? And he's there for like 15 seconds. Yeah, it was a cool shot. If you didn't watch a Clone Wars arc from 2011, you don't know what the hell those statues are. He's on the Argonath looking at Mordor. Okay, what the hell?
That was something. Okay, so I'm gonna tread lightly with this because I've been one of these people, but the people I see complaining how the show doesn't cater to Clone Wars fans, to non-Clone Wars fans, are Clone Wars fans, are people who know this. The only thing I've ever seen like related to this is people saying like, well, someone who didn't watch this is not gonna get it. I haven't seen anyone who hasn't watched those shows being like, I didn't understand what happened.
If you watch the Clone Wars and Rebels, as soon as those start to show up,
but I agree with the point. Like, that's something that if you haven't watched Clone Wars, you're just gonna see a guy looking at a thing.
Yeah,
I mean, we're not even sure what he's looking at, but we understand the context of it.
Mm-hmm. Because again, I watched it with my wife. The second time I watched it with her, she didn't ask what those statues were. She just went, "Oh, Mordor." So that's what it looks like. It looks like the end of Rings of Power, and I told her, that's the same thing that I thought about.
And maybe that's even like on purpose, being like visual, but like perhaps like the cultural visual imagery. Like he's saying, like maybe people don't understand the specifics of this, but people will understand like the broad idea that there's like a bigger
heaviness behind it.
Yeah.
So I think this is my
Norhal is here.
Ooh, Norhal. How are you doing? It's been
Norhal and I were having a blast shit talking people.
It's fine. They'll probably be in the chat as soon as I start kind of going through all my rant. The thing is, if I tell you, hey Oti, I didn't get a chance to watch the finale, I don't think I'm gonna get to just explain what the story is, and you tell me bit by bit what the story is. It's very, I think it works, but I think the execution of it didn't work for me, and that's the biggest thing. It's some of the decisions that Filoni made for the finale didn't work for me, and there might be minor things, but there were too many that I was noticing that just kind of kept building and building. I said, I'm just noticing a lot of things I usually won't complain about, but they just keep, why are you doing this type of decisions for these characters or these scenes?
I land, I think, on a similar place. Everything that I had a blast watching the finale. Like, it was a ton of fun. It was a good episode, but it's gonna sound like a cliche, but my issue isn't what happened in the finale; it's what didn't happen. It's like those things that we missed. That's like, almost. And I don't think I've seen people being like they dropped the ball. I don't think they did. I just don't think they put it over the hook completely.
For me, was when that episode ended, I was like, they're more interested in setting up what's coming than it is to finalize all the threads that they started pulling at in this first season. Which when you ask me, what was the point of the show? Well, you have to find Ezra, bring him home, and try to stop Thrawn. All those things happen. The main things happen. But all the other kind of things that were pulled or introduced in the show, Baylan, Sheen, even Morgan Elsbeth, why was she helping Thrawn? We still don't know why she wanted to bring Thrawn. And all those little things that they started kind of setting up.
I mean, but the Morgan, I think we have an idea of what's going on. He and the Night Sisters have an agreement that neither of them are like very fond of. I think we see it very clearly in that scene with Long Live the Empire, or for the Empire, for Dathomir. Like their alliances are in fact like not the same.
I mean, we said it since that first time that Thrawn came out. Every time that Morgan opened her mouth, it's like, shut up. Why are you even telling me how to do my battle plans? I know what I'm doing. Like, we're gonna give you all this power.
Have you read Ascendancy? I'm very good at this.
Yeah, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, no, but again, I don't need everything explained to me neither. So I just think that there were a couple of things that if could have been easily fixed if they. I think that if we knew on starting the show that there was probably going to be a season 2, it would have made a lot more sense, everything, because at least me, I was thinking like this was leading up straight to the movie, and maybe it is, but if it is, it's like it's like the weirdest setup for a movie. Like the bad guy is back, our heroes are stuck somewhere. Like
it was real. We're all assuming that season 2 is coming before the movie. Season 2 hasn't been announced, as far as I know.
It hasn't been really. I think it will be.
Most likely. If I believe that probably the Rey movie is going to come before Filoni, most likely. So we won't see this movie for another 3 or 4 years anyway.
So that's what I'm starting to think. I'm thinking that Rey movie is going to be like the first one. probably in between we'll get Mando 4 and Ahsoka season 2, and then we'll get to the movie. Which again, if that's what they want to do, then okay.
So you know how? Sorry, finish up.
But I do think Thrawn's story, we're not gonna pick up for it with it
Oh no,
for a while. I think
leave it.
What would be cool though, if we see the effects of his return in the other shows, maybe it would be cool, like in Skeleton Crew, maybe by the end of the season, like we start hearing like, oh, there's an attack going on somewhere. Maybe in Mando 4, he's hearing of the thing, and we see like the Republic start to like build up.
So it's funny that you mentioned Skeleton Crew, because this morning someone posted I don't know, a screenshot of when this season is supposed to come out, a synopsis for this first episode, and we all know the things that we know. This is a show about some kids, for sensitive kids. I can't remember the word yet.
Stranger kids, stranger things.
But they get lost in this strange galaxy, and then someone needs to find them. So, and they find something, and so I think it might tie to Ahsoka a little bit more, that these kids maybe.
No, I don't think they're going to Peridia. I don't think so.
We'll find out. We'll see. What if when Thrawn comes out, they'll just...
I mean, John Watts just wanted to do a Star Wars show. You're not going to throw him with Night Sisters, alternate galaxies,
throw him.
They'll say, well,
actually, so you know what's going to happen in Mando season 4? Because you know how Ahsoka connected with Sabine when she was trying to find her in Peridia. She's going to sit. She's going to focus. She's going to connect with Grogu on the other galaxy. Grogu's gonna tell Mando, and they'll fly and find her, and that's Mando season 4.
Maybe. Norhal is saying, I felt it had similar issues to the Mandalorian season 3 finale. It felt the episode could have been longer, and they skipped some emotional beats. Yeah, I think this was better than the Mando 3 finale, which I did like.
So it's funny because I didn't complain that much about the Mando finale. I enjoyed it, even though it has some issues, and I know this was better, but I have more issues with it. It's because I love the show so much coming into the finale that I feel let down a little bit.
Yeah. Just saying that Dathomir is not that far from Navarro and Mandalore. It isn't. We'll see. But we have. Did you like the episode?
I like the story.
I didn't love it. I'll slap you.
No, I would. If I had to,
negative than positive.
I'm more negative because I had expectation that X, Y, and Z were gonna happen. The only thing I kind of thought was, well, Thrawn is gonna leave. Thanks to our friend Tony, that he said Io Sion was there to bring the Chimera back to the galaxy. He nailed it. And I thought that the heroes were gonna get stuck. Right? I thought that Ezra was gonna get stuck with them. I thought all three were gonna get stuck. So I'm not surprised.
I wasn't expecting them getting stuck.
So that was my big theory last week. So again, things that I thought were gonna happen. It's just how they happen. I think, and we'll get through them, but it's just the execution of some of those ideas. I start kind of finding holes, which might sound very nitpicky, and they are. But it's like 5, 6, or 7. It's like there's too many to just ignore. So I watch it twice. I usually watch them 3 times. I only watch it twice. I don't know if I'll go back.
Okay.
It just let me down. Did you?
I liked it a lot.
Okay.
It's not my favorite episode. I don't think it got close to the heights of Far Away.
Yeah.
But I still liked it a lot. I had a lot of fun watching. Like that scene when they're running to Minas Tirith and they're shooting from the start. That was so fucking cool.
It is cool, and that's one of the things I have issues with, because it's a great scene, and it's not that they didn't get shot. We know they're not going to die.
No,
but it's so. Again, the show starts with Thrawn or with Enoch or Morgan's what?
No, that first scene, the minute that scene came up, I was terrified because I only thought of the Secret Invasion finale. I thought we were gonna see Morgan flying and doing crazy things, so I was like, "Oh no, what are they doing? What are they doing?" But then what they did with Morgan was kind of cool. So like, okay,
with the blade of Talsin. I wish that now that Ahsoka has that blade, get the blade out and use the hilt for her new lightsaber because she lost her because
Ooh,
that hilt was
that hilt is
pretty
pretty
awesome.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's okay. We know where they are. We already finished loading up. So call the Eye of Sion. They just could have gone up, go 100 yards forward. They didn't need to stay on Minas Tirith. We know that the Chimera can move a little bit. So why are you waiting there for the Eye of Sion to come pick you up and
And
just give
maybe
them away?
I told you the engines are not working. I don't think they can fly. That's why they
They
haven't
don't need.
left.
They don't need to. No, no. When we saw it the first time, they flew in and went down. They can go up, go over here. Ahsoka's here. We can't reach.
Oh, because the fight needs to happen.
I know, but this is
Oh,
some
you're
of the
not.
things.
That's 1,000% a nitpick.
Oh, again, these are gonna be like 5 or 6 nitpick that just roll into one big ball. So anyway,
that's kind of like complaining why didn't Obi-Wan use force feed to get across, or why? Come on.
well, you're not gonna like my all the ones I'm gonna go through.
Let me leave.
You're gonna lean all day. So they send the TIE fighters to stop the ships. Perfect, great scene. I even love when Ahsoka went and destroyed both of them. I say the Naughty were my highlight this week. Last week and this week, the Naughty are great.
Fun. No, but I love that scene with Sabine knocking the TIE fighters.
It was great.
She walking and be like, got him. Because she can't really say anything else.
I guess before we go with that, we got Ezra building a lightsaber, and that scene with Hu Yang, like, I have a system, and Ezra, me too. No, you have a method. You don't know what you're doing. Just speaking to him, start talking about Kanan. You mentioned Caleb. Just giving. That's one scene that I wish, and this, when I say that I wish this was, I'm gonna do my own pitch of a middle chapter, a middle episode between last week and this week. If the way last week episode ended, everything was fine. Ezra and Ahsoka met. Save the Baylan and Shin kind of saying goodbye to each other for this fake chapter that I'm making right now. And do this week instead as this kind of leading to the finale. Ahsoka, Ezra, Sabine, and Hu Yang building the lightsaber, kind of talking more about the importance of the lightsaber, the kyber crystal, seeing why Ezra choose whatever kyber crystal. Give Baylan and Shin a little bit more time for him to say, hey, like you said, my path is somewhere else. And you can come with me because this is just a journey I have to do on my own. You can either go with Thrawn or try to lead these mercenaries or whatever. And then Thrawn and Morgan are still kind of getting the Chimera ready. It can be even a short 35-minute episode just to kind of set everyone up for that big confrontation for today. And then it kind of leads a little bit, at least for myself, a little bit more straight to the path that they need to hit.
Okay. I was just thinking, if we got the second to last episode be a 35-minute episode, you would be the first one here being like, it's a second to last episode. We only got a 35-minute episode. They're leaving everything for the finale.
Hey, I've said before that I contradict myself.
Nothing really happened in this episode.
No. They could have done something else. And I said,
we need to see Ezra build the lightsaber.
I on my notes, I wish that scene was a little bit longer.
I love that. I wouldn't hate an episode of him building a lightsaber because I find it super cool.
Yeah, it was nice. And just a little bit, we don't need to go through the whole history of lightsaber because he's not going to go and find a mountain full of kyber crystals. I don't know, maybe a little bit more. And I love then when Ahsoka leaves. First, when he turned the lightsaber on that little closet, I'm like, you're going to kill someone. There's no space there to start just banging around. Did you like the explanation why Sabine and Ahsoka parted ways?
I did like it. I think
I did enjoy that.
Yeah. I've heard people saying like, oh, we need to see her. We should have seen them talk about it. I don't really think they needed, but it was fun understanding like why it happened. And again, it made sense at least to me.
It made sense. The only thing I would add was during this season, we didn't see her kind of have those vengeance kind of retaliatory thoughts or something. But
maybe she has been learning. Like Again, she asks her, "Have you been keeping up with your training?" I try, I do. Like
she tried once to use the Force and it didn't work.
Lightsaber. But being a Jedi is more than that.
Until it's you gotta kill 300 stormtroopers and you spend 40 minutes with a lightsaber.
Yeah, but that's like a fun Star Wars thing. Like it's always like Jedi are pacifists, but we like to see them kick ass.
Yeah, I'm building my lightsaber, but it's more than that. But I did like when
it is more than that.
Yeah, I know, and I like when somebody say, "Yeah, but it helps." It's like when say money doesn't solve all problems. It helps a little bit.
But I found it fun because it's like the Mandalorian in her, like being like, I love weapons.
All right, let me see. You knocked the wind out of me. I'm not gonna complain as much as I was going to. Also enjoyed again Thrawn being what he is and knowing what everything when they not destroy, kind of knock out that T6 and Enoch's okay, they're kind of knocked down, and then Morgan says, okay, I guess we're done, we can leave, and he's like, I've seen enough Imperials make the same mistake or assumption about Jedi. It's a ground assault now, so again, shut up, I know what I'm doing.
That was probably like my
phone just fell off.
Holy shit. That batch of Thrawn scenes or moments were probably my favorite. He goes like, so their ship is down, so it's very improbable, if not impossible, that they'll get here. So let's prepare for a ground assault. And what's the other thing that he says? Oh, where he's like debriefing and he's like, and prepare Captain I don't know what for a citation.
Yeah. Oh, well, we lost contact after they said they engaged the ship and then we lost contact. Oh, great. Captain whatever for a citation because he's dead. So this is another nitpick. It's when he said, okay, prepare for a ground assault. Why not send another TIE fighter? They're like 5 miles away. It's going to take them a while. Because you can say, oh, they're too small to be hit with the cannons from the Star Destroyer, which is what happens a lot. Send one TIE fighter.
Maybe they can't spare another one. I don't know.
They just wasted two. Anywho.
That's why you don't want to waste more. It's like if you lose $500 and you're like, I don't want to lose any more money. You're like, oh, come on, Alberto, you just wasted $500.
Just waste another. What's 500 when you got 1,000? So then that's where Morgan is gifted
it's literally 500.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. Given the gift of shadows. I'm surprised that she was, I guess, made a great mother, whatever you want to call it.
Ooh.
But
I wasn't expecting that. But that was
I wasn't. It was really creepy. And I'll say, a lot of people have been saying, oh, get ready for creepy Star Wars. This is where we're heading. I'm like, it's not going to get that creepy. We're not going to get there. It got pretty creepy with the zombies at the end, with the White Walker stormtroopers.
Yeah. Lars Mikkelsen has the best expressions as Thrawn. His annoyed pursed lips. Yeah, that's pretty funny. I want to ask you, Alberto. I've seen a couple of people being like, Thrawn is out of character. Do you agree? You're trying to compare 3 versions of Thrawn. They're all gonna be different. Lars Mikkelsen said that he's doing a different version of Thrawn that's been there for 10 years. Yeah.
Even though I say, okay, maybe he wasn't make all these mistakes that I'm kind of mentioning, just send a TIE fighter, do this and do that. Hey, he just wants to get out of there. He doesn't care. And you can see by the end, he's pretty aggravated when they make it into the temple. He's like, why are they still alive? There's no negotiating with the Padawan of Anakin.
He's so happy when he realizes he won.
The ending is great. When he leaves, I'm sorry we didn't get to meet in person, but I win this run. I don't think we're going to meet again. Long live the Empire. Just leaves.
That was a phenomenal scene.
I love the. I don't think he's out of character. If you I think it still fits with the Rebels Thrawn. Might be a little bit different from the books, but it's difficult when you have 18,000 pages of Thrawn trying to make it into a TV show. It's not going to be the same.
I've seen people being like, Filoni doesn't know how to write Thrawn. Zahn knows how to write Thrawn. I'm like, Zahn has hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pages and lines of dialogue and hours in his head to write Thrawn. Filoni just writes like a very superficial version because that's what you.
That's what it is. I mean, you can't do Thrawn in book Thrawn can be in the Ahsoka show. That doesn't fit.
It'd be so boring.
Then I will have a lot of complaints. So they run with the naughty, kind of all weird. make it into the temple. Ahsoka, I guess she used the Force a little bit, even though we can't really say at that point. I did enjoy both
Sabine.
Ahsoka and Sabine, when she had to help both of them to get in, and that's when Molly Talsing, Morgan Elsbeth gets the sword, and they tell the mothers, okay, here we go, we need help, and they send, like you said, the grand assault, and we get that scene with all the stormtroopers.
I love two things. One, the whole they volunteered to fight. So,
oh yeah,
it's interesting because that's when I realized, okay, they're actual people, they're not undead zombies. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but that scene between Thrawn and Morgan, he's like, I need more time.
Oh, we know it.
He's like, you know what I'm asking you?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, we didn't give you these powers just because we're nice. So also, this is the only time that I would complain. I don't even say acting, or because it's difficult to, hey, we're gonna be shooting you with blasters that are not there and you gotta fight them off. I'll say it looked weird, Ahsoka trying to block the blaster bolts. Yeah. And I think it was because she has two lightsabers and she's kind of using one to block and then uses the other one. I think it looks weird blocking with one and the other kind of just sitting there. So I think just a weird look to it. But the fight with all this stuff,
I just want to say I do not share this complaint. I thought it looked pretty freaking cool.
All right, it's fine. It was cool seeing the White Walker zombies kind of.
It was so silly.
I tell you, that was where it was going was pretty awesome.
They were being that was like, wow.
Especially the Death Troopers at the end. We'll get to that one, but that was
confirmation that they are zombie experiments.
I don't know if they're experiments, but those two at the end, I think those were pretty undead.
There's always been this thing that, rumors inside the galaxy that the Death Troopers are like zombie creatures, like they're not people. Or maybe they've been like heavily experimented on.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you've seen the comics, like every time they talk it's just gibberish. You can't see what it says, like, so it's always been like this mystery of what's under the mask.
I know these ones, they look different. I think
we have never seen one without the mask.
The armor was all beat up with the same red stuff.
Yeah, because all the stormtroopers are that way over here.
Talking of stormtroopers, I love the lightsaber fights or the blade fights because Morgan doesn't have a lightsaber.
The fight between, that was a cool fight.
We'll get to those two fights. Those were the highlights for me. The stormtroopers are really useless right now. It's like there's like 500. I know, but they were pretty. Not problem, but usually.
Is this a legit complaint?
It's a complaint that every time we see stormtroopers, we get excited because it's a new armor. We know they suck, but usually when they're fighting, there's usually some cannon fodder in the back. You have your heroes, and then some rebel troopers are gonna get shot down. Where you have like 50 stormtroopers against 2 people and don't even get a shot in. Even though Ahsoka did get hit a couple of times, I don't know. It just seemed like a waste. Again, I'm being very nitpicky for some reason, but it did bother me a little bit.
I will not comment.
That's fine. You're here to just hear my complaints. You're my therapist right now. You're just there to sit back and hear me complain about it. But what I would not say, I won't say that Filoni doesn't know how to write, that this was lazy writing. I won't say those things. That I think it's because episode 4, 5, and 6 to me were just on a high note, and then the last 2 kind of took a dip. I'm taking a little bit harder than I usually do. So let's just get to that. We don't need to talk about the stormtroopers. But when they get up to meet Morgan Elsbeth, she's sitting there just standing there waiting for all of them. And Ahsoka's kind of, okay, this is my fight. You guys gotta stop Thrawn. No, we gotta stick together. Get Ezra home, basically. We gotta stop Thrawn and get Ezra home. One thing I cannot complain, I will not say one single bad thing, is that fight. Even though I just said Morgan and Ahsoka, even though I just said that seeing Ahsoka and Rosario Dawson just kind of blocking the blaster ball looks kind of weird to me. Both of them, Diana Lee Inosanto, Rosario Dawson and the fight choreographer and the stunt actors, they knocked it out of the park. This is one of the best fights I've seen in a long time. That wide shot with both of them just going back and forth like it was fencing, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I'll take all my complaints away if I can see that, because that was top tier, and I won't complain about that scene. It was everything I could have hoped for, with a weird Game of Thrones Fireblade against two lightsabers. I won't say anything bad about it. That I actually love.
I
One
love
of
how
the
that,
best fights.
I also love how that fight ends with him taking the saber.
Yeah.
This is over.
So it was pretty good. And then, of course, the Ezra and Sabine versus the dead troopers, or whatever, dead night troopers. Pretty graphic, pretty intense, actually. Even though we know that heroes aren't gonna die, it wasn't easy. You kind of felt a little bit, maybe they're gonna get a couple of bruises this time around. And
what happens if you get bitten by those troopers?
You become one of them, and then you can't hit anything.
You go black armor, and
it just turns black. So Sabine finally used the Force. Confirmation for people out there: she's a Jedi, or she can access the Force. Let's complain about it. I don't have a complaint about it. That Oti, don't worry.
No, I've heard other takes, like maybe it would have been fun if she, the first time is with Ezra, like lifting him.
Mm-hmm.
But
no,
I thought it was fine. Like it wasn't like Rey using the Force in Force Awakens. I think it kind of tried to do that beat, but it was cool.
It was cool.
We knew it was coming.
It was coming, so it wasn't a big surprise, especially because it went back and forth between her and the lightsaber. If it was something you just took out the lightsaber, it flew to someone, and then it was Sabine, then you get that surprise. But we knew it was coming. I love that kind of lightsaber to the brain because he's a zombie, and then Ezra just decapitates the other one. So I'm surprised they didn't show us, like, he said it's rolling. You don't need to hide it behind that pillar. And then we got the push. Yeah, no, it's not a kid show.
It's not an adult show. So.
It's no, it's right there.
No, it's not. No.
It's adult, and where's my blood? Because I wanted to see.
This is a land of dreams and madness.
Were you surprised that Sabine went back for Ahsoka? At the beginning, I was a bit surprised. I thought that both of them were leaving. Ahsoka was staying behind.
Yeah, I thought that was what's gonna happen, but then when she came back, I was like, why was it so silly to think this? Like,
yeah, I mean, we got even at the beginning when
I did say a couple of episodes ago that the one resolution I wanted was a resolution to the story of them as master and apprentice, and that I did get, and I'm very happy with that. So I did love that she came back, basically being like, "Hey, if you got my back always, I'll have yours."
Yeah, it was. Even though I was surprised when you start thinking, even at the beginning when Hu Yang is telling Ezra, the relationship between master and apprentice is kind of a complicated one. Then we had Ahsoka talking about how Anakin always had her back. Sorry, moving forward, I always have yours. So yeah, it makes sense that then Sabine will reciprocate. She pushes Ezra as a weird kind of angle that he takes up to the ship. So, yeah, but then kind of that gives Ahsoka a second win to then take down Morgan Elsbeth with a pretty cool
move.
360 spin to slash her with both blades, which was pretty cool. All right, and then it kind of they go home, or Ezra goes.
I mean, I did love that Thrawn was like, destroy the castle. Destroy the castle, please.
Yeah, Morgan was a little bit. Really, you're gonna leave me here and not even leave me at home?
And the great mothers were like, what?
Yeah. The Great Mothers, I guess they're just following or helping Thrawn because he brought them back, right? That's what we kind of learned. Because why are they helping? He kind of resurrected them, I guess.
Yeah. But I did love them jumping into the ship. I don't know. It was cool.
Oh, yeah. And I should have said before that Naughty helping Hu Yang fix the Jedi shuttle.
Like the porgs with Chewie.
Yeah. Well, I freaking Naughty. They've grown on me. See that first time we see I like them, and then these two episodes, even though I haven't loved the episode, I've loved the Naughty. They've been great.
I love their vests, their little bow ties. Like
just the best thing, just their clothes. And they're so happy. Even when they're getting shot at, they're just happy.
They're delightful.
helping. That's one thing. Ezra couldn't say bye. They clothed him, gave him a home for 10 years. It's a little pat on the head. Sorry,
they were a little busy fighting the army.
Again, just give me a wave from the Star Destroyer.
He was dying to leave.
Not by himself. I mean, he was dying. It's like, okay, hopefully I can pull you back up because I'm leaving. So yeah, we already talked a little bit about it, but Sabine gets on her shuttle. I mean, yeah, Sabine and Ahsoka get on the shuttle trying to catch them. I thought for a minute that they were just going to leave at the same time. But then we get that great scene with Thrawn. Oh, let's hail them.
One wonders what you will become. I thought that for a minute they had him beat and he was actually going to negotiate, which I thought was going to be fun because we will not negotiate with the apprentice of Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, which is a great line because he knew it wasn't going to work anyways.
Yeah, but him calling her and basically to brag and boast, like, I got you.
That's what, even if you say that Thrawn didn't feel like Thrawn, that felt like Thrawn. Like,
I think it really. I'm not the one saying that.
No, I know because I've seen those takes. I saw, and it's freaking Twitter. I don't see everyone that I follow that didn't like this episode was very general. Like I've been, it didn't work for me. Wow, I hope it would be a little bit better. No one that I follow went straight on to those takes, but people just retweet them. I'm like, I don't want to see this. You have your complaints, that's fine, but some of them are really dumb, like those. And the worst one, we haven't gotten to Anakin at the end, which I could have done without. Someone complaining, why isn't he wearing his Jedi robes from Return of the Jedi? It's like, Force ghosts that can travel through
time. You
saw
him in armor like 3 episodes ago.
Yeah. Time and space, and they can manipulate living things.
He turned into Darth Vader with the blink of an eye.
No. You need the white robe underneath. And that was for 2 days I saw that.
It's people just wanting to complain because when those robes came out, why is he wearing that? He didn't wear that in the movies.
Yeah.
Why is he wearing it?
And the thing is, he looked great. I love his look. I couldn't done without it because we had a whole episode with Anakin trying to show.
No, I thought it was a delightful ending.
It was fine. At this point, the first time I'm watching the episode, I was on the greatest mindset. So it's like, okay, it's there. Just let's see him one more time. But we're not there yet.
I wasn't like.
You didn't cry as soon as you saw the title, the Jedi, the Witch and the Warlord.
I love that title.
I know. I couldn't know. I think I just started on the wrong foot.
I'm gonna use my second F-bomb, but like that moment made me just like feeling just to not give a fuck about anything.
It doesn't. And I had my first notes were all the reference know-how. That's nitpicking at its finest. It is. So I had like, we know that you like Lord of the Rings and medieval things, all the history and mythology. It's like, it's too much. It's like, doing something. It's too much.
You're a grumpy old man.
I was very grumpy. Dude, I'll tell you, I watched it, of course, on Tuesday when it dropped. I usually watch it again Wednesday morning, but I didn't work from home on Wednesday. I was busy all day. I think I watched it again either late on Thursday or yesterday. It's the second time that I watched it. And between Tuesday and yesterday, I've been going through all my thoughts and all the things I didn't like. And when I was looking for the thumbnail to use for this video, I was just kind of scrolling through and like, hey, it looks good. I'm not listening, I'm just kind of watching the story and man, it looks nice. It looks entertaining. What I'm complaining about? Maybe I'm just being too grumpy. And when I watched it the second time with my wife, I'm like, I know I still have the same issues. I don't know why. Anyway. Okay. But I did love, like I keep saying, the Eye of Sion is one of my favorite ships now. And when it jumped to hyperspace and just left Ahsoka behind, just a visual that's just incredible for me, just looking at that.
I hope that in the movie, the Chimera still has the Eye of Sion.
Oh, yeah, just keep it there.
Just keep it there.
It's there. Let's talk before we finish up with... let's talk about Baylan and Shin a little bit, so I can complain a little bit more.
I just thought of something. Imagine, since it has all this energy and power on the Eye of Sion, could you imagine, like, they don't even have to do like the whole intergalactic thing. Just every time they jump into hyperspace, just like ruins everything. That would be like a cool thing for the movie. Like every time Thrawn shows up, you're gonna find out.
Yeah.
Everything's
Yeah,
the
there's
battle's
no.
gonna go to
Yeah,
like seeing TIE fighters crash into each other or something like that.
it'll be fun. That will be nice. I just love that ship. I love the interior. I love the droids. I love the droids inside there. I love the interior. I love the ship, how it works. I love everything. I want those droids. Give me more of those droids. Hell can be breaking loose behind them. They're just in their little computer terminal, just waiting. Oh, coordinates are ready, my lord, or Grand Admiral. Shin and Balin.
Shin and Balin.
So this is where I start with, why did we spend a whole season with this great mystery? And I still don't, I know, okay, so Balin's, no, I'm training you to be something better. And then, actually, I'm done with you. Go with Thrawn.
No. I'm gonna push back. That's not what happens. He's telling her, your heart is not in what my... I hate that take that he abandons her. He's not telling her, go, I don't need you. He's just telling her, you don't want the same thing that I want. She tells him, like in the episode before, like, why do you want to be in this shithole? Like, so
but the thing for me is we don't know what Shin wants, because
she clearly just wants power, because he tells her, you take your side in the Empire. She's like, okay, yeah, I want that.
She wasn't like, oh yeah, right. She has nothing to do with Thrawn. She didn't know Thrawn till 2 episodes ago when, we're gonna go with Thrawn.
I think she just wants power. She just, again, she's like the dark side embodied, basically. So she just wants to dominate, to control.
I think she was that the first like 4 episodes, and then the last 2, I saw a shift in her a little bit. So that's why.
What do you think she's gonna do? Like,
I have no idea. She's gonna lead.
She's gonna become like the Marauder Queen or something.
Yeah. That's what it kind of feels like, but I don't know. To me,
that fits what she was, just like a savage animal, basically.
I don't know. I think the character took a little shift after they said, "Okay, go find Sabine and Ezra and kill her." I don't know. I saw a little shift in her that she didn't have those same convictions anymore. So when Balin's like, yeah, I gotta go do this by myself, and he does say our path kind of lead in different ways, go take part of this new empire. I don't think she was kind of really wanting to be part of this empire, because she didn't go back to Thrawn, because
I don't agree. I think she preferred to go back with the new empire rather than to stay with Balin. Okay. Because she's basically like us, like, you're not telling me what you want. Mm-hmm. You're just talking about, and you know what? I have like this thing with Balin. I kind of think like his motivation shifts the moment they get to Peridia, because he keeps talking about the Jedi archives and the stories he heard as a kid. So I'm thinking that maybe he was just like on this mission because he's a mercenary and he was hired. And then when they actually got to Peridia, he was like, wait a minute, these stories then are true. Yeah. So there's maybe something bigger here for me, based on the stories, whatever they were. And I don't know, like, so I think his motivations also kind of shifted during the show.
I think it did, especially like you said, once he's there, it kind of changes a little bit. I just wish it was a little bit different the way they departed, because it's still not clear what Shin's kind of places in all this.
Again, I think we just don't agree on what happened, but
that's fine.
The way I see it, it really worked for me. Like him being that honest with her and being like, you don't want this.
All right, we'll leave it there. So let's talk about the hug that wasn't there. Ezra makes it home. Finally, Ezra's back. When that ship came into view, and that Imperial ship, I'm like, because first I think we see the New Republic ship, so we see both of them pretty quickly. Like, wait, this doesn't look like a Republic ship to me. What the hell is this? Took me a little bit.
That's the same ship that Balin had, right?
I guess I've forgotten about it, because a little race different from an Imperial shuttle. So I'm like, what the? Took me a little bit, and then okay, this is Ezra, of course.
At first, I had a different take on it. I thought it was maybe Enoch and a couple of stormtroopers, basically just like shoving Ezra to them, being like, "Here's Ezra, and by the way, we're back."
Okay,
I thought that would have been pretty freaking cool.
That would be cool, and I don't mind. And I haven't seen this take. I don't mind that we didn't see Ezra escaping. It happened. I don't care that we don't.
I actually saw that take
Okay.
We don't need that.
We don't need to see him escape. If I want to be extremely nitpicky, because I thought about it, it's like, hey, it doesn't matter. It's like, really, they just make all this way because he stole a stormtrooper armor. Now he can just take the ship out. We don't need to see every little thing that happened. I did have a big issue with him still wearing the whole stormtrooper suit when he got out. I doesn't make sense to me. It's like, first, how did you find the New Republic? You don't have a GPS there. Well, it's two aliens.
We don't know what's on those. Alberto, they can travel in hyperspace. Like
okay.
Having a GPS.
They might have GPS.
It's the government. Like if you want to go to, you can go to Ron DeSantis' house if you wanted to.
Actually, I went there 2 weeks ago.
Oh my God, I'm so.
I didn't go there. So if I go there, you should really kill me. I'm not going to that fucker's house. That's my F1 for today. Every time you talk about that guy. No, but it didn't make sense to me. If you want to keep the whole stormtrooper suit as he's coming down, that's fine, but no helmet. It's like,
or at least, or maybe he taking it out as he walks out. The whole, I agree. Like that was, come on, and people are like, no, because Ezra's a practice. He's not a kid anymore. Come on.
Not. And it would have worked if we didn't see him drag that stormtrooper off screen. As soon as he he's gonna take the suit because that's what he does. So if we didn't see that, and then we just see an Imperial ship and a stormtrooper walking down, then okay, it's a little bit different. But we knew it.
Yeah, no, it was like a completely unnecessary.
It was very
suspense. Like,
and also because they let them inside the docking bay. So if it's an Imperial, you're not gonna let them inside. So that's one I'll take. I'll complain about that one a lot. It will be fun.
But you know what? If the payoff was better, I would be like, whatever.
Yeah.
But like
before we get to,
you just end that scene that way, and that's the takeaway. Like, why is he wearing the freaking helmet?
Yeah. So he does the, hey mom, I'm home. I know he said Hera. We all know he meant mom.
His mom.
So that was great. That scene is great, and we've all seen all the takes. And I'll be on that side. That why didn't Hera just run and hug him?
I have a take.
Let me lean. Now's my lean time.
Before I go into my take, I'll agree. I did want to see them hug, especially seeing Mary Elizabeth Winstead emote. I was like, come on, let's knock it out of the scene ended.
It's fun because he starts walking to her, and they're like 5 feet away, and then we get the wipe. It's like, oh, just leave it for 2 more seconds.
At least we could just see them hug just once.
Yeah,
I did love Chopper sprinted, being like the dog, like, oh my God, you're home. I kind of wanted Zeb to be like, you're back, you left your room completely messed up.
You mean Zeb freaking comes out of nowhere.
By the way, I did love in the previous episode him being like, wait, Zeb is training people?
The casting was great. This season, the casting of the heroes was top notch. We've been saying it all season long.
I have a take on the hug thing.
Okay.
So I saw a take that led me to this take. Like someone posted, I just think people in Star Wars don't hug. And I'm like, this maybe makes sense. And I'll tell you one thing. There's a big culture shock, I know, for Latinos when they go to the US. Alberto, how do you greet someone when you meet them in Puerto Rico?
Oh man, how many hugs and high fives and kisses on the cheeks and all this stuff.
Kisses on the cheeks. Like that's a very cultural thing. When you see someone, you just kiss them on the cheek, even when you meet them for the first time.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I went to the US, it was for a high school program. And when I met people, I was gonna kiss them. And I remember one girl like pushed me and gave me her hand. I was like, what's happening? So
sexual harassment.
Not everyone greets the same way. I'll just say that.
That's 100%. That's 100%, but not in this.
But I did want the hug. Like, come on, he's basically her mom. She's basically his mom.
Yeah, I'm just gonna highlight 15 most good F-bomb. Yeah, Ezra was being dramatic from No Hall. It's true. Alan, if Sheen and Bailey can have Jedi clearance go, so can Ezra. So I was thinking about this, and the casting was great. I was thinking about this yesterday or something, and I'm not. You've heard me complain here that I didn't want the Hay Snips. I didn't want the Sky guy. It worked on the show, of course. It would have been great if we gotten a scene, and this is me just kind of my, what do you call it, a fix-it fit. If we're in the New Republic, so I'm trying to, sorry, no, I'm just seeing you're coming up. If we're in the New Republic ships, basically, at the end, and someone goes to Hera, hey, General, a ship is coming out of hyperspace, and then we all think it's gonna be Thrawn, but instead it's this Imperial shuttle. And she's like, oh, hail them, or whatever. Oh, this is General Syndulla, blah, blah, blah. And then we hear, oh, General, this is Jabba the Hutt, or whatever phrase that Ezra's going to associate to.
Was it Javalando or something?
Yeah, something that Hera is going to associate to Ezra. And then she, oh, just let them in. And everyone's like, what the hell? No. And then we get that reunion. I think that would be a cool callback.
You know what, Alberto? That's my headcanon. That's what happened.
All right, there we go.
That's why they were optimistic / nervous.
Yeah, because you don't know. All right.
And she was like excited or anxious to see what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
All right. Ezra's home.
Canon.
All right, we got it. At least we end on that. That's the show for today. All right. So anyway, we go back to Peridia. Sabine is kind of, oh, I don't know if I made the right decision.
Wait. Thrawn is in Dathomir.
Oh yeah, that shot again.
That's a cool shot.
That's freaking shot with Dathomir. What the hell is he gonna do in Dathomir with 2,000 dead stormtroopers? I guess in those coffins. So
I think those are Dathomirians or
that was my first thought when why is the Great Mother's helping him? I think there might be Dathomirians.
So what I'm thinking is that they want to repopulate Dathomir, which is interesting that they teamed up with the people that destroyed it. I know it was a separatist, but the separatist is the Empire.
Yeah.
Anyways, so but I think for Thrawn, it's like I need Force users to combat Force users.
Mm-hmm.
That's how the alliance comes into play.
The 3 Force users are left. Well, he doesn't know.
I mean,
3 just kicked his ass.
We keep finding out about other Force users. So
yeah, I mean the 3 that we had last week pretty much messed up his plan.
He was terrified of Anakin's apprentice, and he just went to a galaxy with Anakin's 2 kids and his grandson.
Yeah,
because I think Ben was just born right around this time. So
yeah, I don't freaking timelines. I don't know anything right now. So I understand with Ahsoka saying, "No, I feel it. He's home. He's where he's supposed to be." But also Sabine said, "We just send him back on a Imperial starship with 100 Death Stormtroopers and Thrawn. It's probably not a good chance for Ezra." But Ahsoka said,
"He just survived for 10 years in this wasteland. Like he'll be fine."
Yeah, he stayed away. Like he said, "Oh, I'm stayed away from here. You're not alone." Another Infinity War kind of callback twice with what's Norhal adding
that basically what I said. Like he left Anakin's Padawan stranded, and now he's going to find his offspring. Yeah. Norhal saying that Ben's like 4 years old. Yeah, I think he was born like right after Jakku or something.
Right. It's Grogu's there, so you gotta be careful with Grogu. Something happens.
Oh, he's gonna love Grogu. Oh, you're my child now.
Oh man, you imagine Thrawn with Grogu.
He's gonna face Bo-Katan.
It's gonna be interesting. Where I don't even know where
a friend of mine mentioned the other day, like, have you processed that we're probably gonna see Bo-Katan in a movie? And I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah. Maybe Boba Fett. I'll be happy to see Boba
Fett. Oh, that'd be cool.
You want a very stupid nitpick just to end the show, or no?
We haven't talked about a couple of things, but
okay, because we've been jumping. I'll do my stupid nitpick, and then how did the Howlers survive the bombing of the temple?
Oh, shut up, man.
How did they survive? They were inside.
I don't care. Like they just survived. Maybe there are different Howlers. I don't know. Maybe they just
they had the same whatever you call.
They have a Howler ranch somewhere.
A ranch, yeah, and they have that same backpack that they had going in.
They have multiple. I don't know. There's a Target nearby.
Yeah, that's Target. You saw our friend, the theory guy, complaining that Maul didn't show up. Someone freaking retweeted that guy doing his reaction to the show, and when Thrawn tells the mother, "Sorry, I need your help again," and the zombies kind of stand up, he thought that Maul was coming. And he said, "Oh, here we go. I know, Darth Maul. Here we go. Maul is coming." What? This is it? And what the fuck are you still here? Why are you relevant? Get out, shut up. Nothing that comes out of his mouth makes sense anymore.
That's literally like me being like, oh, this is where Batman's gonna show up.
It wasn't Boba Fett there.
This is the Jason Voorhees scene? Come on.
Freddy Krueger. I mean, if they take you in their sleep.
Seriedad, por favor, seriedad.
Yeah, okay, we'll try. So basically ends, we already talked about Baylan and Shin. I mean, with Baylan going to Mortis, we saw the owl. I just forgot the name.
I kind of don't want Mortis to show up, like, ever. I just want it to be, like, elements or something.
So I hope, yeah, that makes sense, and I hope it doesn't, because Mortis gets very complicated and convoluted. And I'll say it, I don't have the biggest history with it in terms of remembering everything that happened in that Clone Wars arc. It was like 20 years ago, or 10 years.
It wasn't.
It's 2011, so 12 years ago. But so all the gods are dead. So if we're gonna revive them, do whatever. Maybe it's the story of it, or the meaning behind it, or maybe it's another world between worlds. I don't know. We'll find out. And that.
I'm not really concerned about that, because I know we're not gonna guess what it is.
Yeah. No, we're not gonna know. That's gonna be, I don't know, season 2. I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens with Baylan, if they recast, if they decide to. I've seen some people saying, "Hey, just leave it a mystery. Don't bring the character, and just give us that story in a book or comic." I don't think if you said something like this, you can just leave it. I think they need to.
If Ahsoka wasn't stranded there, I would be like, "That's probably what they're gonna do." But.
All right. What did we forget to talk about? That you mentioned we forgot about a few things.
Well, I like that scene between Ahsoka and Sabine at the end, being like, "We're stuck here," and she's like, "We're exactly where we need to be." And I like them. I love that moment with Sabine, like, wait, nah, it's nothing. And then Ahsoka seeing Anakin. Do you think Sabine was seeing Anakin, or do you think she was sensing Kanan or something?
I think she was seeing some. I think it was Anakin. It's kind of looking the same way. I think she doesn't understand it, so she just saw a little.
I think she just gets like a feeling or something.
Yeah, could be. And maybe the reason why I say I didn't need it, I understand that Ahsoka and Anakin's Force Ghost didn't interact. We didn't need oh yeah, here you are, thank you. Oh, you follow all my advice. And maybe I missed it, because the second time I watched it, so I gotta put this on silent. Maybe I missed it. Did Ahsoka had a reaction to, like, kind of an acknowledging that she saw the Force Ghost, or just kind of?
I think she kind of. I kind of remember she kind of smiling.
All right, I get it, because the first time when I saw it, I didn't see a reaction from her, and then I saw Anakin kind of smile at the end, but I didn't see her react, and that's why I said it's not needed. We already saw him. We're just kind of there. But if there was a reaction, I'll take that step back on that one.
I didn't really mind him showing up at the end. I think it was like a nice way to wrap it up, and reminding the audience, like, Anakin is more than Darth Vader. There's also this side to him. I thought it was fine.
But he has this black cloak. That's Darth Vader's cloak.
It is.
And that's going to be season 2, actually. He comes back and fights her.
I was
talking
to someone yesterday, and they were telling me, like, oh, I think season 2, Anakin is going to be one of the main characters, and he's going to become the father. And I'm like, Anakin is dead. His story is over. Like, no, that's not going to happen. Like,
wasn't that the whole point of the Clone Wars arc? The father wanted him to become the father and control everything. Like, no. And that was the fall.
So I'm just like, no, his story ended. He's just there to support Ahsoka's story.
Yeah,
no.
Like all masters do after they pass away in the Force.
And they're like, that would be supporting Ahsoka's story. Just like, no, that makes him the main character of the show. Like, no, that's shouldn't be happening.
Yes. No, please. So season 2, actually, and you sent me. I was gonna put it on a little graphic, but I didn't.
Would you mind him keep showing up as a Force Ghost?
No, I mean, I love Force Ghosts,
as long as he doesn't turn into the main thing, I'm fine.
Yeah, and it's again Force Ghosts, as much as we, as fans in general, and I'll count myself in there, want them to show up a lot. And why didn't this Force Ghost show up to to Rey, or why didn't this guy show to Luke and Ben Solo? Force Ghosts show up when needed, right? It's very important to help you go over that hump. So if there's something in season 2 or in the movie, what's Roberto adding?
No, let's finish your thought.
Nice. So if there's something that Ahsoka needs to overcome, or maybe even show up for Sabine, which I don't think, because usually it's the master that shows up to the apprentice. That's with Obi-Wan to Luke, Yoda to Luke,
Elsa Man to Luke.
Yeah, Elsa Man can show up to everyone. He'll just be there. Qui-Gon to Obi-Wan. So it makes sense if it's needed that he shows up when she needs advice. And sometimes, I mean, Obi-Wan can always show up just when he was tired and needed to just lay down. So if it's like, let's take the original trilogy, for example, that Kenobi shows up a couple times to talk to Luke, I wouldn't mind that for Anakin and Ahsoka, that he kind of shows up, hey, I got to give you an advice, or maybe you're making a wrong decision. I wouldn't mind it. But not if he's going to now find a way to come back and he's the main character. Then I was talking to my brothers the other day on text. It's like, I'm done with the Skywalker saga. After Ahsoka and the Filoni movie, I want to move past this. Again, we're going 10,000 years, and then we're going to the Rey movie and whatever else happens. I want to start moving away from this era.
Rey for me is Skywalker saga, and Ahsoka for me is I was thinking, for me, Ahsoka's a Skywalker. Like, she's 100% a part of that family.
Yeah.
So what Roberto was saying.
Oh, sorry. I'll put it back.
I do think she was sensing Kanan, but that's just like head canon. I don't think we're meant to think that, but I kind of like him. Maybe she just sensing him.
So now I'll pose to you. Now you mentioned Kanan. You think Kanan's Force Ghost shows up to Ezra?
No. Pretty Princess having sex in Star Trek.
They'll CGI him. That was before the strike, so they got him. They scanned him, and they can CGI him into it.
Okay. Norhal, exactly. Why it didn't show up to Ben Solo? It's the same reason why Kenobi didn't tell Anakin about Satine, because the story needs to happen.
Oh, that's always the story's there. If the story wasn't, it's like Thrawn alliances. If the story didn't need it, Vader would have killed Thrawn real easily. The first 10 pages, and the book is over.
With Ben Solo, to me, like, he doesn't really have a connection to Anakin. So, like, for me, the person that needed to talk to Ben was Han. Like,
even though I really like Rise of Skywalker, I'll take this. So Norhal is suddenly, if JJ had done this series, it would have ended with I'm Ahsoka Skywalker.
She should say this. I'm Ahsoka Tana Skywalker.
No, it's like, yeah, she's not a Mandalorian, because I gotta put
like,
the name person.
She was basically raised by Anakin and Kenobi, like,
and Rex
Skywalker. And Owen Rex. So she's basically a Fett too.
She's talking about Hispanic. How we greet everyone is a Hispanic name. All your maiden names, middle names.
Ahsoka Tano Skywalker Fett.
Oh my god! And you forgot the Kenobi.
Coon. No, because Kenobis are Skywalkers too.
Also, yeah, everyone's a Skywalker.
I was upset that we didn't learn that Baylan was actually Kenobi's long lost brother.
Dude, what else did I see about Baylan?
I mean, this guy's first theory was that he was Anakin from an alternate universe.
Man, and I know. Anyway, I can't get into all that. I saw again you went into the sequel trilogies again. People complaining why didn't Anakin show up to Luke in The Last Jedi instead of Yoda? It's like, really? Are we still doing this?
Oh my god! When was
it's someone complaining about Force Ghost showing up and who's here? And since Yoda showed up to Luke in The Last Jedi, someone was complaining it should have been Anakin because that's his father.
I mean, and the answer to that is Rian Johnson wanted to direct Frank Oz rather than Hayden Christensen
with the actual puppet.
Yeah, like,
and I think
that was probably his childhood dream. If it was me, I would have preferred Hayden. Yeah,
but still at that point, and I'll say I'm sure inside the Lucasfilm, the prequels were still kind of, we gotta stay away from this.
That's the thing. That was like, was like a bad thing. Like, that was the point when people started going back. Like, no, we actually like the prequels.
Yeah, and we want Hayden back, and now everyone loves him as they should. All right. Anything else you wanna? I don't know.
Oh,
Talk about season 2.
Mo saying that like with every Latino family, she still gets called Snips, even though she doesn't like it, and I can confirm because I hate how my family calls me, but I'm fine with it.
My brother, one of my brothers, whose name is Jose, he's always had a nickname, People. I've
People
only called him Jose like 3 times in my 43
like the
years.
governor.
Yeah. And he's just People. And everyone in my house calls him that. He doesn't mind it. But it's like sometimes when we're with his family and they say, Jose, Jose, I'm like, I don't know who that is. I don't know who Jose. So season 2, you sent me one of Filoni's drawings that he did a couple of years ago for Rebels Remembered,
such a sneaky man,
with Ahsoka and Sabine in this mountain region, very snow-capped mountains with their coats, kind of walking. He put a little note. This isn't a new show. This is maybe something for the future, something like that. So this guy he knows this. Again, I complain about Filoni day in and day out.
He knows how to keep us engaged.
And he has this story planned out probably for the next 10 years. So even though 2 weeks ago I had my foot in the Filoni bus, I'm off the bus again. But I can't say that he doesn't know what he's doing.
My thing with Filoni is like, I like his stories. I just sometimes think he's a little bit overrated. That's like it. Yeah. But I do like his vision for Star Wars. It's like, I think it's the most accurate one.
I think he has a great vision. He knows the whole history about it. It's just the stories that he tells sometimes.
He has the same problem that the creator of Star Wars had. He's not a great writer. Like,
yeah. If you sit down with him for 2 hours,
he's a great
if you sit down, hey, tell me your vision for Star Wars, and you'll be like, this is the smartest guy alive. He knows everything. But okay, put pen to paper. Sometimes those decisions have, and that's where I fall with this episode as a whole. Is I love this story. I didn't like how we got to it.
But I don't really like think too much about it because there are things in the prequels that I would change. There are things in the sequels, in the original trilogy that I would change. And I love all of those movies. So I'm just like, yeah, it's just my opinion. That's fine. Like, I don't really dwell on it too much.
All right. So
just be happy, Alberto. Enjoy it.
I'm trying. I'm watching Loki. You watched Loki season 2?
I haven't watched it.
Oh man, I was gonna do a war between fandoms talk about Loki. No. I'll wait for you to watch it.
I saw The Exorcist this week.
Oh, was it creepy? The Believer.
As creepy as
it's an Exorcist movie.
Yeah. But I didn't love it. It was fine.
I watched Haunted Mansion yesterday.
Was it cool? No.
For a family movie, yes.
Would you like that director to do a Lando movie or show?
You know, I liked the movie. It was a fun, entertaining family horror comedy movie.
That was the guy that was going to do the Lando thing.
I know, and then he got kicked out for some reason. Probably because Haunted Mansion didn't do well.
I think he got kicked out
in the summer. I know, but supposedly he didn't
know about it. That's the weirdest decisions ever. Why would you release that movie in the summer?
Because they want it in Disney Plus in October, which makes no sense. Okay, just release them back simultaneously. Do this in Christmas. Yeah, release it in the movie theaters now, end of September. Run it till November, and then release it in Disney Plus. Because my kids who usually start watching a movie and then walk out 10 minutes into it, they didn't move. We watched the whole movie, all 4 of us sitting in front of the TV for almost 2 hours.
Did you watch The Creator?
I wanted to go yesterday because here, and you know what? I'm just gonna put because we're just talking other stuff. This is.
I love Ahsoka.
Don't tell me. Oh, I deleted my wall between fandoms.
Oh so. No.
Sorry,
I can do the Star Wars, the TARDIS noise if you want.
Oh no, I got that. Just this I didn't have. Wall between fandoms. Okay. All right, there it is. So. The Creator, I'm so hyped for that movie, but
I loved it.
You loved it. Here in Florida, or where I live, this is college town, and when you're in a college town in Florida, it's all about football. And today is the homecoming game for the University of Florida football team, the Gators. So yesterday, there's no work.
Do they only have like one college football team?
No, Florida has a bunch. Like Miami Hurricanes, which is my favorite team since I was a kid because my dad went there. The Florida Gators in Gainesville, the Seminoles in Tallahassee. So I'm gonna keep going. The UCF Knights in Orlando, the South Florida Bulls in Tampa. You want me to keep going? There's more.
No. The thing is, you said like it was the Florida team. I was like, wait, they only have one?
This is the University of Florida.
Oh,
everything else is Florida State or UCF.
Okay, it's like
so. Yeah, exactly. Since it's homecoming, yesterday on Friday there's no work, so the university is closed. There's no class. My kids didn't have class yesterday.
Oh, but you work for the wait, what? Like it's like
it closes. This holiday? Is football. It's a holiday. No school, no work in the university, and I work for the university. Shut down. My kids' school, elementary school, daycare, shut down. There's nothing. This is football country, Oti. So
weird.
It is, but I'll take the extra free day.
No, for sure.
So usually on days like this, we go out of town because everyone's here. Let's just go to some place that's not going to be as crowded. And I wanted to go watch the creators, but we decided to go do something else as a family. I wasn't going to say, no, actually, I'm just going to go to
I'm going to go watch a movie. Screw you guys.
Yeah. So I want to see it. Hopefully I can go next weekend or something. But just real quick, so you really enjoyed it?
I really liked it. I went into it with the most uneven pair of reviews. I saw people saying it was like the most different sci-fi you've ever seen, and I saw people being like it's the same movie you've seen 1,000 times. I think it's like kind of a mixture of both, but I completely loved it. Like there was not at the end there was a choice that I was like, oh no, but I think they worked it well by the credits, so I really liked it a lot.
Yeah, I can't wait to see. Just give me those, apart from Rogue One, obviously, just District 9 vibes and all the AI stuff. I just...
if you like District 9, it has a very similar feel.
Excellent.
And I really love that director. I love Godzilla.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I've watched Godzilla, King of Monsters, and Kong vs. Godzilla like 20 times. And like 2 months ago, I finally watched the first Godzilla from Gareth Edwards.
You hadn't watched it?
No, I watch it now, and I'm like, why are people complaining? Yeah, Godzilla doesn't show up that much, but it's a great movie.
For me, I loved it because it was like if you turn on CNN and Godzilla was in town, it would be like that.
And Monster was a great movie.
I love King of Monsters. I did not like Godzilla versus Kong.
I
don't know why.
It's 2 monsters kicking the crap out of each other.
But it's funny because if you go to Rotten Tomatoes, Godzilla versus Kong is fresh, and King of Monsters is like extremely rotten, and I love the rotten one.
Yeah, I mean, why are we even talking about Rotten Tomatoes? So Loki, real quick. Loki season 1 is my favorite of the MCU show so far, and the first episode of season 2, dude, I watched it twice already. I love every single second of that show, or that episode was great. I know reviews, I've seen both sides because people have seen already 4 of the 6. First episode to me was perfect.
Okay, no, cool. I'm dying to see it. Quick thought. Mo saying Oti should rewatch Rogue One. Maybe his opinion will change out. I said I like Gareth Edwards, not Tony Gilroy. Because he ended up directing the movie. Oh,
well, but the creator says from the director of Rogue One. So who is it? But Filoni directed the hallway scene of Vader.
I've always been consistent. I think the third act of Rogue One is the best third act in a Star Wars movie. I just don't like the first 2 acts.
It's great. It's a good movie.
Yeah. It's a cool movie. I have a fucking poster of it right there.
It's been 3. You say you're only going to do 2. And I did 1.
You did 2, by the way. I counted.
I did 2. Crap. Yeah. All right. I'll put that sign up when I do the audio one. Next week, how are you doing on Tales of the Jedi? You almost done? Halfway?
If you want me to get to it, I'll get to it.
You know what? Since you want to do half, we'll do next week. We do the first 5 stories, and then the following week we do the other 5.
Hopefully the SAG strikes and the SAG strike ends and tons of news start coming out, just like with the writers, like the day after. This is in development.
Yeah. All right, so we'll talk. I will decide which 5 we'll talk, because I know you got the bunch of novel versions. I want to hear your thoughts on that last one. Have you read that one or not yet?
I'm in the same spot I was when you asked.
So one story into it.
But you know that if you put pressure on me, I'll get to it. So.
All right, I'll send you a message and say, hey, read till this story, and then we'll do the 5 one week and 5 the next one.
I'll try reading tonight and tomorrow. I don't have
All right,
really much
and then
to...
go watch Loki. So we'll talk a little bit more about that.
That I'll probably watch tonight.
Yeah, we'll talk two episodes of Loki next week.
Okay, perfect.
All right, so thanks to everyone that was in the chat today. A lot of people. Sorry for my grumpy guy, but again, I didn't. It wasn't that bad.
Just say you like the show.
So I will say, show in general, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. I was ready to 7.5. 7.5. I think the last 2 episodes brought it back. Yes, 4, 5, and 6, they're just perfect, and then these 2 took a dip.
Okay.
I enjoyed the season. I like the season.
I think 6 was by far the peak. I like this one better than last week's episode for sure.
Okay, the action scenes were. All right, Mo. Tony didn't show up. I always say Mo, Roberto, Alan, and Norhall. And if I missed someone, I am sorry.
Where's Dale and Brent?
Dale sent a message on last week's video because you wasn't here. You don't read the comments saying that he's fall activities. Now that it's fall, he's doing all these outdoor things around his house and stuff. So he's busy. He'll watch the show. Dale, when you get to this part, put a comment and tell Oti why you're not here. But Oti, we'll be back next week.
Ahsoka Tano.
We'll see you season 2 when you come back, and may the force be with you. You know how to end the show. See you next week. And I gotta put my outro. Sorry, there we go.